All right, folks. So we're going to start off by having a look at some of the lanterns, some of the lighting, things like that we have the guests playing with or carrying whilst they're going throughout a game. So ordinarily, we will start off with just an off-the-shelf electric lamp or lantern or something like that, whatever's going to fit into the theme itself. For this one, it is basically, it looks like some sort of, just an oil lamp kind of a thing that your miners would get, or some sort of expedition or something like that. So let's take one of these out of the box, have a look at it, and then what we'll do is we'll have a quick look at how we take it to the next step so that it looks a little bit more authentic. A lot of them are already come with in colours looking like the brass or something like that, but we just want to muck him up, make him look old. Nobody wants to get hold of something like that when they've walked into an area, into an immersive experience, and they're actually touching something and holding something up to their face, and it looks brand new when everything else around them looks like it's aged and it's been there for forever. Okay, so let's take one apart and have a look at it first. Okay, so basically, first glance at it, it looks okay. It looks like it's mass-produced. It looks like it's got some sort of colour effect on it, and it looks all right. The actual light itself comes from this this white section in the middle. We've had a couple of different ones of these. And basically you can get them, and this is just clear or it's glass, which for us is a little bit of a warning sign. We're thinking, oh, hang on a minute, what happens if somebody breaks it and they cut themselves on it? So we've got that initially. So the white plastic, yeah, unfortunately there's not a great deal we can do about that. It does take them out of the scene a little bit, but we think that's a compromise that's we're willing to make, just so it's a little bit safer. But the actual colourings of it and things like that is okay for a start. And I think really what the stuff that we've done in the past is pretty simple. You don't need to go crazy on it. You don't need to go over the top, right? We just use that colouring that it already comes with as a base. And then through dry brushing and things like that, and we can use a couple of different colours on dry brushing. It just ages it a little bit, takes some of the shine off it, stops it looking quite so new. So let's have a go at doing that now, and we'll go from there. So with dry brushing, I don't want to tell anybody how to, do something that they are fully aware of. But for everybody who's not quite sure what dry brushing is, it literally is what it sounds like. So you've got your colour paint, you've got a brush. I suggest you use a brush that's a little bit rough. It doesn't need to be a good one. It can be a proper cheap brush, yeah? And you basically dab on it a little bit of the paint itself, whatever colour it is that you're wanting to use in that layer. Yeah, and then get the excess of it off. Then you are literally taking away, I would say, 90% of the paint itself. Get rid of it on a scrap bit of wood, something like that. Yeah, and then what you want to do is you lightly brush it over parts of the thing that you are wanting to age up. And what you want it to do is you want it to think of, if you cast your mind back to look at something old, something that's been there for ages, or Google image an old lamp, something like that, and it'll show you the parts of it that will be a little bit shiny, a little bit cleaner, and it'll show you the other parts of it that are going to be a little bit dark, a little bit dingy, a bit of muck's got in there that aren't being wiped off because it doesn't get touched very often. And that's how you need to think of it when you dry brush it. So you literally just load your brush up with a very small amount of the actual paint itself. The brush is practically dry right? If you look there, I mean, it's leaving such a small amount. And that's literally what you want to do, because you're not looking to paint whatever it is. You're just looking to texture it and just give it a little bit more of an accent. And the dry brushing will bring out some of the contours that you haven't seen before, yeah, by basically filling in and blending in some dirt, some muck into the recessed areas. Okay, so that's what you're aiming at. So here we go, first look, and basically we're just trying to make it look not brand new. Okay guys, so just to give you an idea, basically that is the back half of the lantern. I haven't touched it at all, okay? And the front half of the lantern is that way. Now, me personally, I feel just as a couple of moments spent on it, straight away, that looks a bit more dingy, looks like it's been used, or looks like it's been sat there for however long. But whatever you think, put it in the comments. If you think, no, I preferred it the other way or whatever, you know, put something in the comments. But that's literally just taken me a moment or two to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it on the other side as well, do that, and I've also got another one to get done as well. So let's crack on. Right then, so there we go, folks. We've spent what? I don't know, 5 minutes, something like that, messing about on it. Could you spend another 20 minutes on it? Yeah, you could. But what's also going to happen is stuff like little bits on here, on the plastic and stuff like that. As players are handling it, as it's being like reset, as it's being put in all the places and stuff like that, they'll start to rub away. So you will start to get the shiny bits back. But the bits that traditionally an old actual thing that had been left there, the bits that aren't handled very often, stay mucky. Okay. Now you can touch this, it's all nice and dry, it's not coming off in your hands or anything like that. It's great. If you wanted, yeah, you could spray a bit of clear coat over it or something like that. Yeah, and it'll make it last a little bit longer. For us, these lanterns, they don't last overly long anyway, because when players get into escape rooms, they tend to take stuff like this apart, even though it's pretty obvious that there isn't going to be a clue inside a battery or something like that. But they still take it apart. So for us, they are a little bit of a throwaway item. But even so, it is something that they're handling and it's something that they're dealing with whilst they're in there. But I think for a couple of minutes' work, that don't look too bad. So there you go. That's what we do with our lanterns that people use for when they're in there actually trying to solve problems, or they're going into other areas, or they're going into a tunnel or something like that. And I think for the 5 minutes, it's got to be worth it. So, as you can see, the two side by side, basically we're just taking the shine off it and we're trying to make it look a little bit old, grubby and mucky. But thank you very much for watching, and if you made it this far, if you won't mind, give us a thumbs up and maybe a subscribe, and we'll catch you next Saturday.